Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, family? How we feeling? How we feeling, man? Today gonna be a good day. Um, let me make sure y'all know the drill, man. Send this out to three people who you know need to level up with the market. Um, we gonna talk about a lot of stuff today. Um, but yeah, send this out for sure. Send this out to three people who you know need to level up with the market. Um, I'm about to send it out to my three people now. Right, I gotta practice what I preach. Right, so um, yeah, I'm send this out to three people who you know need to level up with the market. We're gonna be talking about the draft and Shador. My God, why y'all had to do Shador like that, man? And we're gonna talk about, we're gonna talk about the draft. We're gonna talk about, I got top five stocks for you. I got five good stocks for you guys to invest in for sure. Um, I do have something I do want to show you guys, so I'm gonna add that in really quickly because I do think this is very, very important for sure. But yeah, let me add this real quick. And then we're gonna go ahead and get started like always. Give it about 3 minutes. 3 minutes or so. Give it about 3 minutes before we go ahead and get started. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull up. Yeah, let's pull up these slides. Let's pull up the slides. Yep. Y'all already know, man. Alpha investing. If you new, my name is Monte. And my goal is to give you an edge in the market every single week. This is Retail Investor Reinvented. I want to give you, as a retail investor, the tools necessary for you to be successful in the market, to give you more emotional control, to give you more clarity, to give you more confidence in the market as it's very, very turbulent, as we can see. Shout out to Jelly in the chat. Shout out to my Apex team, man. Shout out to everybody in Apex. I appreciate you guys so much. Man, they be going crazy up in there. They be going crazy up in there. Shout out to everybody in Apex, man. But yeah, make sure you guys send this out to three people who you know need to lock in with the market. Yeah, put fires in the chat. Fires in the chat. Hey, July. Hey. And we do have an Apex call tonight. Please do not miss it or watch the replay as fast as possible. Because it's definitely going to be very, very, very important. So yeah, we got that. We had that call at 9 o'clock tonight, like always. Just in the side. But yeah, there we go. But yep, so we gonna get into some things, man. We're gonna get into, we're gonna talk about the draft for sure. Because there are business lessons in the draft too. We of course we love to watch it. If you're a sports fan, I love football. My team is the Chiefs, y'all know that. And I was getting trolled. When we lost. Don't worry. Revenge tour. Revenge tour is coming. Pat, he coming different this season. All right. Pat coming different. But yeah, man, it's a lot of lessons from the draft that we can take away. As well, just on the business side. But it's amazing to see people get drafted. So shout out to everybody from the hometown who got drafted. And then, just to see, people who are 20, 21, 22, 23, get drafted. They've been playing that sport pretty much their entire life since 2 to 3 years old. So, it's amazing to see, some great young men be able to, accomplish goals. Like I know the draft is obviously, the big it's like acceptance thing, right? It's like you made it, but we definitely have to reward them for all the work that they put in because that's what I don't want to go unnoticed. The years and years and years and decades of work that they had to put in to be able to grab that position, grab that spot on that team. So, even to the guys, because obviously, you're gonna have players who go to the NFL, they may not do nothing but be on the practice squad, but that's still is you're still in the NFL, so that's still success, right? If you look at everybody that's playing Americanized football, that's still success. So, but shout out to everybody who got drafted for sure. But we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We it's 7:07. It's time. So again, send this out to 3 people who need to level in with the market. But let's go ahead and get to it like always. So you guys already know if you want to join the Apex team and you want to level up when it comes to this market, you can go to apx-partners.com/tech, or you can scan this QR code. There is a limit of 30 people at the moment, so I believe it's 11 spots left. So, if you want to join the team, you want to go to the next level when it comes to investing, all around, as far as just becoming your own hedge fund, fundamental research, technical analysis. You want to learn how to chart and all the chart patterns. You want to know advanced indicators that people are not using or not talking about that will be beneficial to you. Then you can join Apex. The Apex indicator is going to be out tonight as well. So if you guys are at Apex, we're going to be going over that tonight. And kind of how you can use it. It is still in beta mode, but we're going to get it out to you guys. But shout out to everybody who is in Apex. Shout out to my Apex family. I love y'all. Keep eating, keep executing, keep doing what y'all doing, because y'all doing amazing. And shout out to everybody else who will be joining in the future. So if you want to, take your investment to the next level, you want to join a team of like-minded, driven individuals. Because boy, they be letting up fire in there. Sometimes just the questions alone that they ask are amazing. So, tremendous value all around the Apex. So shout out to everybody who is in Apex. I appreciate you guys so much. Now let's get started. You guys already know. You know what this is. Up or down, right? This is up or down. Should we be going long here, short? Is it ranging? Like, just let me know what you guys seen on the chart. My goal is to help you guys kind of understand the charts a little bit more, a little bit better. This company has took a steep fall, man. So, just looking at the chart, what would you guys do? Would you be going long? Would you be going short? Would you do nothing? Is it ranging? Is it chopping? What do you guys see? What do you guys see? And if you don't know, that's fine. You can put I don't know. I want to help you. So if you don't know, then just let me know. My goal is to help you. I can't help you if we don't. You gotta give me feedback so I can give you guys feedback. But if I was looking at this chart, I would be going short. But I do see a pattern. So, yep, short and ranging. Yep. So I do see a pattern though. I do see a pattern. And I want you guys to start looking for patterns in the market as well, if you have the ability to see them. If not, just keep focusing on long-term investing, keep focusing on staying diligent, and just keep focusing on the main process of knowing when to go long versus knowing when to go short. But yeah, shout out to Destiny, man. Shout out to Danny, Jelly. Shout out to the team. But yes, for sure. If I'm looking at it over a long-term perspective, it's definitely down. If we're looking at it on a shorter-term basis, it's definitely been ranging up and down for sure. So yeah, market structure is just gonna have to tell us what it's gonna do in the future, and we just continue to watch this one. Now this one, long, short, ranging. What we doing? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going sideways? We long, short, stage one. Ooh, stage one. Apex. Shout out to everybody in Apex, man. Shout out to everybody in Apex. July. I'm trying to tell you. Trying to tell you. But I think we all know that we're going long, right? Yep, we going long. We can see the trend. I'm sure you can draw an imaginary trend line here in your mind. We can see that this asset is just continuously going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back. So we would definitely be looking to go long here. Don't make the and something I'm learning as because I'm only getting older, so I'm just gonna learn more about life, right? If it's not an instant yes, it's probably no. It's probably not a good decision for you. So if you don't know what to do, if it does on the chart, if it doesn't instantly tell you go long, or if it doesn't instantly tell you go short, or you don't instantly see a pattern, you probably should just stay away from it. I'd rather go with something. I'd rather go with clarity and have confidence than try to gamble. Because a lot of long hit it up. Yep, exactly. Great job. Amazing job. Right. So if it's not an immediate yes, it's probably no. It should definitely be no. Right. And that's with everything in life. So when it comes to the chart as well, if you don't instantly see the pattern or you don't instantly see an uptrend or you don't instantly see something to where you can make a move, just don't do anything. Right? We gotta have quality. A big part of being successful in trading, one, realizing its probabilities, right? But two, you have to know that you can mess up by trying to force things that are not there. Right? So keep it simple, keep it quality. You don't have to you don't have to be the best in the world at something to be the greatest. You just have to be the greatest at what you're good at. That's all you got to do. And this one, I know this one a little bit weird, right? But if we're looking at this asset, what will we be doing? Long, short, nothing? Is it ranging? Let me know what we're doing. What would you guys do? What would you guys do? We got like some rounding out near the top. Nothing. We don't know. So I would say if I'm looking at this asset myself, I'm gonna be honest. From this chart alone, I will honestly do nothing as far as trading or anything like that. I'll honestly do nothing. I wouldn't do nothing. Yeah, yeah. So it's like if even me, right? I don't have to know because obviously we see like some rounding out here, right? But just looking at the chart, it's not standing out to me perfectly clear where I could get an entry, get an exit, and then hit my target, right? So I should instantly be able to look at a chart, know where my entry should be, know where my exit should be, right? So when it comes to trading or anything like that, I'm just not seeing that. So I wouldn't do anything. But if I'm looking left to right, the chart is going up on a long-term basis. But if we're looking closer to recent price, it's really just kind of pulling back a little bit. Short. Yeah, we could potentially go short here for sure. Because you see it's rounding out at the top. I would just don't personally have the confidence to know if I'm gonna go long or if I want to go short. So I would just wait for a little bit and let price action digest a little bit and let me get, some more candles before I decide what I want to do. So sometimes the best trades are the ones that you don't take. If you don't know it, then stay away from it. There's no rule book to this. No one said that we have to trade this stock or have to trade that stock, right? So it's very, very productive if you just stay in your circle of competence, like the famous Warren Buffett has always insisted for us to do. Now I'm gonna go over it again, like we always do. World conflict resolution, politics, economics, earnings, innovation, and I forgot. Great job to everybody. Appreciate you guys. Great job. Um, but if we look at world conflict resolution, we see a little bit lightening up um, on world conflict. We still have a lot of world conflict, right? So we're not out of the woods yet. But you see it softening, it's getting better. The mood is getting a little bit better. Now, just because the mood changes, right? So feelings are separate from logic. Just because something feels better, right, or sentiment feels better, right, you have to stay with the facts. What actually has been done? Nothing. So world conflict is still in the red. If I had to say if it was bullish or bearish, it's definitely bearish. There's no in between. It's either green or it's red, and it's red. Politics, you had relevance of Trump saying that he would sign a bill to stop Congress from trading. Whew, please. I mean, well, you know, I got my take on it. But I can't compete with Nancy, man. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. Nancy trying to drag me through the water. But politics is, I would say politics is in the red. In the red. Because it's nothing good coming out. It's nothing really good coming out. Nothing favorable. So it just has to be red. Economics, we gonna start to see. For right now, I would say neutral. So I mean white as a neutral color. But um what color do you get? LOL, nobody can. Right. What color do you get if you mix red and green? Is it, I think that's what, brown, purple? It's definitely a darker color. Somebody help me out. Red and green, what color you get from that? Somebody let me know in the chat what color we get from that. This is what, brown, purple? But earnings, if you look at earnings, if you listen to the earnings call, a lot of CEOs are saying that there's a lot of uncertainty going forward. So they are not really confident in the outlook. Just because they don't know what's to come, right? There's no real clarity. So as a business owner, how can you know what to expect when you don't know what's going to happen? Every business owner, they're waiting for clear policy and clarity so they can know what to do, right? And this is where, like in the pandemic, where you get red plus green equals brown. See, I know. God, hey, shout out to my team. Red plus green is brown. It's brown. So brown, okay. If the middle is brown, so it's red, then brown, and then green. So if I had to make a decision and say if earnings was red, brown, or green, we are red. Red. I'm talking about the brightest shade, flashing, flashing. And this is so when you go back to 2020, and a lot of companies were bottlenecked, meaning their supply chain was kind of disrupted. Um, I'm just trying to put my head as a CEO and just think like, dang, I don't even know clear policy yet. Do I still do these orders here and have optimism and have hope that the supply chain is going to be okay because Trump may or he may let up on tariffs, right? Like, or do I just move my supply chain all around like we did in 2020? And that's going to cause disruption, shortages, and that's going to lead to certain companies pushing up and certain companies pushing down, like we did in the pandemic. So you're going to have a shift of companies that are going to dominate. So, but earnings, man, it's definitely in the red. And innovation, for the U.S., hey, I would not say red. I would say yellow. Cautious, yellow, yellow. So if I can go green, brown, yellow, then red, we're yellow. We're at yellow. It's like last chance. That's where we are. We still have great innovation here for sure. I just think other countries are catching up. I just think other countries are definitely doing their due diligence and trying to compete. And again, at the highest scale, this is country versus country. So by law and by nature, by the history of what has continuously happened, right? The goal is to be the number one country. So um, other countries are obviously going to try their best to get on a level playing field and level scale with America. And knowing that you have a target on your back, you have to always move the fastest. So I think we're doing well. I think we're doing okay, but I like having the gap. I like having a gap. It's okay to have competition, but you need to prepare for when you have that competition. And I'm looking at America. If we needed to study film and prepare for a battle to beat another country as far as artificial intelligence, I don't think it's there. Shout out to my guy Nico in the chat. Appreciate you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. But let's get into the tariff news, man. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm losing sleep over this tariff stuff, man. It's something new all the time. All the time. So Scott Bessent, he stated the tariffs are unsustainable and it cannot last. Yet negotiations with China have not started yet. So he openly admitted that tariffs are unsustainable. So we basically openly admitted what we started. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Shout out to Crystal in the chat. Shout out to Crystal. I know I'm gonna keep up though. I'm there. I got it. I got it. But then Trump stated that he has no intention of firing Powell even after he attacked him. So you know how somebody like yeah, like this it's fine, it's cool, and then all of a sudden be like, nope. So that's kind of what Trump is doing. He's like, yeah, we're gonna fire him. If I want you out of there, you're gonna be out of there. And then he's like, well, maybe I went a little bit too hard. I don't have no intentions of firing him. He did say he was gonna call him though to talk about interest rates and lowering interest rates, which if he does, is there not an act of treason? Is that not illegal? If he lowers interest rates because of the interest of a certain country, okay. But then the USB allegedly considered lowering tariffs to de-escalate. And every time something comes out, there's always a report coming out right after that of Trump saying he denies it. What news source do I go to get the truth? Where do I go? Where do I go? And then Trump he denies the lower tariffs. And then now China is considering lowering tariffs to de-escalate. And it was also reported that Xi, which is I think it's either a minister or president of China, reportedly talked to Trump. He did not disclose. He did not disclose what they talked about, but has been reported that they have had a conversation. What's good, Thavian? Shout out to Thavian, man. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Real quick, can we put some fires in the chat? Can we put some fires in the chat? Can we put some fires in the chat? Just real quick. We're gonna get into it. We'll get about the draft. We're gonna get into the draft next. But can we put some fires in the chat? If you're feeling good, put some fires in the chat. If you're feeling good, put some fires in the chat. If you're not feeling good, then put water in the chat. I don't know why we're not feeling good though. July is coming. You can't. One thing about life, you cannot stop time. You can't stop time. Delayed but not denied. Here we are. You can't stop time. Can't stop time. I appreciate you. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to y'all. But let's talk about the draft. Sigh. So let's talk about shout out to these two amazing brothers here. Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. I'm sure everybody, if football is now just as much entertainment and media as it is the sport. So I'm sure even if you don't know about sports, I'm sure you know about these two individuals here. Ooh, water for personal, it's all good. It be like that, it be like that. But all we can do, we gotta work on our actions and our attitude, and then we gonna be okay. We gonna be okay. So eventually it's gonna be fire, right? You gotta, when you go through something, and this is gonna get directly into this. When you go through something, right? You're going to have times where you're going through the prank. Like, come on now, yeah, we too old to be doing this. I'm gonna talk about the prank. I'm gonna talk about it. But let's look at this, man. So, first of all, congratulations to these two amazing men here that we have in front of us. Um, I think we're. I say it all the time. We're very short-minded. Um, they both. From Travis. If you think about him being the number one player in the country and him deciding to go to an HBCU, that was unorthodox, right? That's what we call in literature. We call that an oxymoron. It's two opposites. So you have the number one player in the country who, usually the number one player goes to a Power 5 school. Alabama, LSU, Florida State. He originally, committed to Florida State, but for him to, go to, JSU and try to, just build a brand, build a culture. I think we have to commend him for making a decision, especially at a young age. I think it's a lot of times we forget that these people are human, right? These people they're just like us. So the same things that we deal with, the same issues that we have, it may be on a different level, but we all are very, very similar in our lives. We all have the same pressure in our lives, right? Similar. It may be different and it may vary from state to state. It may be different from country to country, right? But on a general broad perspective, we all pretty much go through similar things. We can all relate to each other. But for them to go to school, then go to Colorado, do their best. Obviously, then put up the best seasons there. I don't think they should have got their jerseys retired. Not that quick. In that short time span. But I think we definitely have to commend these two men here and everybody else in the draft as well. But let's I want to know, do we think so the Jaguars, so they gave up their number 5 pick, second round pick, a 4th round pick, and the 2026 first round pick to get Travis, right? And they got Travis and they got a 4th round pick and a 6th round pick. Now, if I am the Browns, right? I mean, you have to justify this trade from the Browns because I'm sure all the owner could think is how he paid Deshaun Watson $250 million fully guaranteed, and this has had nothing to show for. And he gave up all those picks. So I know he's trying to recoup them picks back. Hey, if we want to talk about return on investment, what return on investment is that? When are we gonna start holding everybody else to a high standard? So we just gonna let this happen. We gonna give no criticism to it. We gave up 3 picks, paid somebody $250 million, and got no result from it. You got a negative return on that investment. If you're looking at it as a business investment, you got no return. I mean, you had to take the chance. You did, but I think that was more like a hope in the grasp versus a business decision. And it's two different things. Always got to make a business decision, right? But if I'm looking at the Jaguars, I think they did pretty good with this. I think they did pretty good. They have a lot to work on for sure, but I definitely think the Jaguars. I think they did good by because you gotta when you want a generational player, right? You gotta give up what you need to. This is it goes back to life. When you want something, you gotta work to get it. You have to do the things necessary to get what you want, and they did the things necessary to get a generational player. When you talk about generational, we talking about 1 in 100 years. Sounds like Washington was the market liquidating Cleveland. Hey, out of water. You got a margin call something crazy. You got to put up some more cash. Because guess who's losing money on that? That money coming out of somebody's pocket at the end of the day. So, yeah, I mean, that was 250 million. You ain't get it back from the jersey sales. Did you get 10x? Did you get 10x from that? Because that's what they trying to get off of you, 10x. The value, the flash, the endorsements. Of course, it adds value to the player, but if we're gonna look at it, it mostly benefits the owners at the end of the day because they own it. That's going to drive up the value of the stadium, drive up the value of the city. Then you can get better real estate, more properties in the city, more businesses flourishing in that city. And that directly benefits the wealthy. So not only do we just need to look at this on a lower scale, right, of how you have players who are getting drafted amazing, but we need to look at a higher scale of who is benefiting at the top. So if we truly say we want generational wealth, you have to study the wealth and you have to study what they're doing. Ownership. So how sometimes a lot of us, we don't want to own a company for 5 years, or we don't want to wait 3 months to get a result. You don't see any owners selling their companies. You don't see any owners. Jerry Jones is not selling the Cowboys. Despite not going to the Super Bowl for I don't know how long, hasn't sold them. The Browns. When was the last time they had a owner change? And you're getting private equity into the NFL, so it's only going to be more valuable. Holding is the cheat code. So I know we get caught up in trading, and I keep emphasizing to you guys, and we're gonna talk about it tonight. But long-term investing is where you want to be. And let's let's talk about Shedeur, right? Because no way he should have fell that far. We all know this. We can talk about racism or classism or them using him as an example. But I think we need to focus on solutions. And I think solution will be pretty simple. Instead of buying his jersey that's going to directly benefit the team, how about you just buy his merch, his personal merchandise? We seen it with Target, how they stock died in what, 6 months? How long ago was that mistake that they made? A year ago, 6 months ago? Not that long. People have a business model is having drops. If you watch Shark Tank, you have kids who come in there and they do drops. So that means they're dropping once a month. Yep, you can buy this product. You only have one day you have 24 hours to buy it. If you don't get it now, you gotta wait another month. That's a business model, and people make livings off of that. So how much impact can we have as an everyday consumer if we all put our same money into one company, into one person, and trusted that person to lead us to prosperity? Or if we did it to send a message? So I think it's good to have conversations, but you can no longer get excited about having conversations because I think a lot of people that are having conversations about things in America that are not necessarily liked now, those having the conversation is probably 10% of it. Action is what actually generates results. Action. So you can have all this information, you can listen, you can learn, but if you do not apply and take action, it's not gonna happen for you. So, but he's on the Browns, and I'm just so mad. Like Mike Tomlin, what? Why? Why? Come on, Shedeur with Pickens and DK. Oh my God. Oh my God. But we gonna see. We gonna see. I was also upset because I'm like, okay, if he did go drop that far, it's like hopefully he gets on a better team then. Then he just went back to the Browns. That's where the QB is gonna die, y'all. But we got faith in him. Wrist up, man. Wrist up. But we gonna see because we shall see. But let's get into the stocks. Weekly market recap. So if you look at the market, Nvidia was up 4%. Microsoft was up, AVGO. So this was a really risk on type of week. You see consumer staples were down, communication services were up, consumer discretionary was up, healthcare, you see, was up in spurts. Healthcare is kind of going through like a mixed bit of turmoil right now. So you have like the best of the best companies are dominating, and then you have like the companies that are struggling as well. So we saw United Healthcare, they dropped like 20% in one day because they missed earnings. So if your company gets killed, if your company does not beat on earnings, they are going to get killed. And I said it a long time ago. I said it a long time ago. RFJK is directly going to affect the healthcare sector. You see, they just banned food dye, which is good. But what does that do to consumer? What does that do to people? Mars, Skittles, right? All the food dyes, the cereal, food dyes, Kellogg's. What does that do when you have an entire system that is using that type of dye? Red 40. So it's important for us. We got ChatGPT now. Come on, scan the bag and show and ask it to tell you all of the ingredients in the bag and break it down to you in an easy, understandable way. We got to raise the standard. We got too many tools in front of our face for us to not be using them at our disposal. So ask ChatGPT, take a picture of a bag of chips and ask ChatGPT, can you please explain to me the ingredients in this bag of chips? Can you please explain the pros and cons of each one? Can you put it in bullet point format for me, please, and give me a quick summary as well? I want you to also break down why it's important to know about these chemicals and if some of them are very harmful and can be unproductive to our body and change our natural way of living. Does it affect with the actual rhythm that your body is supposed to be on? But you see, Meta was up. Ooh, T-Mobile down 11%. Finally, you've been running up for a minute. It's time for you to cool off. But industrials, aerospace was up. Financials were down, right? So we see across the map. Tesla was up 9%, almost 10%. Isn't that the average return in a year? But let's get into some market statistics. So I think this is very, very, very important. So this is accumulating 1 million by investing $10,000 annually, and you're getting a 7% rate of return, right? So 7% is the average return. And, 0 to 100, it takes the longest. It's going to take you approximately 8 years. So you're basically seeing no returns for the first 10 years. Basically, because you invested you invested what at that point almost $80,000, and you made 20. So if you break that down, if we do 20,000 divided by, if we do 20,000 and we divide that by 7.84, that's $255 per year. So you're not generating anything, honestly. By getting 7%, you're not. So you're gonna really have to play the long game if you get 7%. But the next 5 years, you get to 200,000 pretty quickly. You still investing. So at this point, you've invested about 130,000, 140,000. At this point, you've generated a return of 60,000. So over a 13-year period, you finally start to see the benefits pay off. So after a 13-year period, that will average you $4,600 per year, as far as how much money you have accumulated of the interest from your investments. And compounding is cool and all, But if you're getting a 7% return, I don't even know if that's enough to keep up with inflation at this point. We have to have the conversation. A lot of advisors gonna have to step it up if clients are just getting 7%. You're gonna have to, because where inflation is going, tariffs, a lot of uncertainty. I don't think you can afford to have that low of a return in this type of environment. In the environment that we're about to go into for the next probably decade, because it's only going to get worse as tensions continue to heat up between countries. That always affects the people, the everyday people. So I think it's very, very important. And this is a lot of clients are wealthy getting this type of return. So if you are an everyday American, you truly cannot afford to get this. So we have to do our diligence. We have to do our research. We have to lock in. We have to act as professionals. I personally think investing in this is the safest thing to do. If you do not know how AI is going to affect the world, wouldn't it be very, very smart to invest in the companies that will always win no matter what? I think that's the safest thing to do. But we have to do it with confidence. We have to do it on a professional level. We have to have systems. We cannot guess. We have to think in probabilities. We have to be calculated. So remember, I told you guys you need an idea first, generate an idea, then you need to do research behind it. Come on, this is regular school. They taught us the blueprint, even though it was meant to keep us as a nation full of workers, not a nation full of thinkers. They gave you the blueprint. You need an idea first. Then you got to do research. Then you have to look at the statistics. So put math behind it. So this is idea, your creativity. It comes from your personal creativity first. You know how valuable an idea is? How valuable is an idea? Research question to you. How valuable is an idea? If they can bring $1 million companies and $1 billion companies to life from ideas, how valuable is an idea? If they dedicated the whole system to keeping you from being creative and thinking, how valuable is an idea? And that's a question I want. It's probably going to be different for each and every person, but that's a question I truly want you to sit on and think about. How valuable is an idea? So you need your own creativity and idea first. And even with working and doing stocks, having a family, right? I don't know, having a child, you've done so much. I know a lot of you have kids, you raised a kid, worked, loved yourself, somebody else, learn stock. Come on, you Superman and Superwoman, you're strong. Should be no doubt in your mind. So through all of the you don't have a lot of time throughout the day, I'm sure, right? You gotta eat, you gotta sleep, you gotta be entertained. That's what okay. Even with that, you still find a way to learn about the stock market. So with the little time that you do have, how valuable the ideas that you think of in that time, how valuable are those? Or on a Saturday, if you just go outside and you just walk and you just think, how valuable is that time to you, that 30 minutes or that hour, if you do it? Then you got to put the research behind it to see. You need to learn about it. Then you need to put the math behind it so you can put it into perspective. And then you need to use probabilities to make a calculated bet on your idea. That's the way of life. That's not just with the market. That's for anything. Idea, I think I should do this. Okay, it's a good idea, but let me actually do the research behind it. Okay, I did some research behind it. Let me put some math behind it to see how much it would cost, what time it would take me. Math is not just about money. It could be time. It could be energy output, frequency, vibration, attraction. So everything that they taught you, you still need to use. And then after that, you need to make a calculated bet and say, okay, from what I'm able to do, from what I've laid out, is this a calculated bet for me to go out? Is the risk to reward? What is the risk of me doing this in my life? This applies to anything, any and everything. Is this decision of what I am trying to do now worth the bet of me losing versus the reward? And I thought this was very, very interesting. So this is the top 10 hedge funds by average hours worked. So you got Two Sigma, Square Point Capital, DE Shaw, Millennium, AQR, Bridgewater, Ray Dalio, Citadel, Point72, Man Group, BAM. You can see that they're working, a lot of hours, right? And you can look at the prestige level as well. And kind of what I got out of this, you can work, you can be very, very highly respected, and you can be good and not work the most hours. It's more about efficiency. So I said, this is going to be an amazing time. This is a perfect playground to thrive in if you are creative, if you are a free thinker, because all the ideas, I know some people may be worried about AI taking your job. Let's look at it on the optimistic side. What if you look at it as a gift to do everything and create everything that you ever wanted to create as a kid that you have not done yet? Because this is going to give you the time to free up the work. What if you use ChatGPT and AI to make your work at your actual job more efficient? How much more time would automating 20% of your work give you? Just 20% of it. It's going to give you a lot of time. So just think about what you may have to do on a day-to-day basis. If you could automate just a part of that, how much more time you will have to allocate somewhere else. And it's going to alleviate stress, right? And then you can have that time to generate business ideas, execute on business plans. But you have, no matter what, they're working over 40 hours a week. It's also what I'm noticing. Over. And then too, you have to think about the mental stress that they take home, the stuff that they're looking at home. So this doesn't really do it any justice because I know. Oof. 60, I mean, really, is it? I think it's more like 70 or 80, honestly. But they have full teams. They have full teams. But this is very, 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 if you look at the highest level of something that you want to do, something that you want to become, I think it's very important for us to look at the highest level of what they're doing, how much they're working, how much work they're putting in. You gotta know how much work your competition is putting in. You have to, and you gotta be working harder if you want to be great. So how all the men that got drafted to the NFL, right? You had to put in more hours than the average person to be there. Had to. So I think it's very good to see that. Now here, I told you guys I'll give you 5 stocks for you guys to invest in, top 5 stocks. So here's also a safe strategy that you can use as a retail investor. I think it's very, very important for you to have a one move that you can do that will always get you a bucket. So investing in SPY, QQQ, and gold, you will always have pretty much a great portfolio because when gold is going up, SPY and QQQ is going down. So you can see that inverse correlation. At this time, the market is down and gold is flying higher. So if you want to talk about a portfolio, I know there's some people who don't necessarily want high returns. You just want safety. So if you want safe strategy, surefire returns, have gold go up, well, SPY and QQQ is going down. It's offsetting your losses. It's offsetting your losses. I think gold is up 30% this year. So imagine getting 30% up. And I thought the return is 7-12. Ain't that what they said? But even with SPY dropping 20%, gold is up 28%. So I mean, from the low, that offsets you. You're still up 8% if you have an equal amount of allocation. So you need 25%. If it was me, right, I would do 30% in QQQ, 20% in SPY because you need exposure to tech because you're always going to have a technological advancement first, and then it trickles over into all the other sectors, and then they use that technology to benefit. But technology is always going to win. So I would favor technology, 30% allocation in QQQ, 20% allocation in SPY, and then 50% allocation in gold. So you have half commodity, half equity portfolio. If you want a little bit of cash flow in the meantime, you can do some T-bills like Warren Buffett. If you're in a mastermind, we talk about that. Them T-bills. right? 5% return 2 months. Easy. Government debt. You've been thinking TSM? Come on, man. I gave y'all the call out 142. I gave y'all the call out for free. We got to execute. It's all good. But I like TSM, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and Walmart. Go with the companies that's going to get you an easy bucket. Walmart is slept on. Walmart is such a slept on asset. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. But TSM, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and I'm just confused how Microsoft, hey, hey, what return is that? What return is that? What return is that? But yeah, Walmart is very, very, very slept on. Amazon, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Amazon. Although they have not really like performed that well over the last 5 years, I think Amazon is in a perfect position to directly benefit from all the data that they're going to get from the consumer. And all of the, you got AI and stuff like that, but what Amazon is directly attached to the consumer, and how all these companies are gonna, and this is not a secret. I'm not breaking any news at all. But all these companies are going to get the most data from us as possible so they can advertise, have personalized advertisement to us. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on Amazon, and the profit margin is getting better, which is definitely something that they needed to work on for a long time. Especially as a top company, you got to have, come on, you need a 20% plus profit margin. Tesla, step it up. Step it up. But yeah, Amazon is amazing. Walmart is amazing. NVIDIA is, come on now, 97 to 111. I think we have what, 10%, 11% already. And TSM, you need TSM. TSM is you have a geopolitical issue. I do wonder how China will eventually feel about TSM coming to America. But again, if a country is willing to give you TSM, I just wonder what they have since they were willing to give it to you and they didn't fight for it. Walmart, Walmart is Bay. Walmart is Bay. Hey, she'll never fail you. When Target cheated on you, Walmart stayed loyal. So Walmart is Bay. Target is not acting right. You had to break up with Target. Target was like the lesson, and then you learned and you like, okay, let's Walmart. But Walmart is like, yeah, we good for life. Right? So Target, come on, man. Y'all gotta get it together. I think. And I'm gonna look at Target because I want to see where they gonna drop to. They might drop another. We'll look at it. But here's a trading tip for you guys. So, know when to favor going long and know when to favor going short, or know when to favor going short, know when to favor going long, and know when to change your opinion. I've never been a fan of Target. However, even shopping Walmart. Yeah, but know when to favor going short. So meaning, no, if the market is pushing down, if everything is pushing down at the same time, you need to be going short. Everything is pushing up at the same time across the board, you need to be going long, and you need to know when to change your opinion and go back and forth between the two. So a part about trading that people don't talk about, you have to have a system. You have to have a system that's going to work. It's all about probabilities. It's all about trusting the system, in the setup that you play out over and over and over again. That's all trading is. It's not. It's follow this specific system, and you're going to unlock a code in the market, and you're going to, with that system, you're going to have a win rate, and you have to accept that win rate. And if you have risk management, you're going to win over many times that the system plays out. You are going to win over a long time period. That's what trading is. But between the two, You need to know the difference between when you need to favor going short and favor going long. The best way I can explain it is a feeling and looking at everything going down or up at the same time. So if you look at the futures market, that could kind of give you an idea ahead of time. But if everything across the board is looking to go down, then that's probably an indicator for you to go short. If everything is looking across to go up at the same time, it's probably an indicator to go long, because now the correlation between pretty much all the stocks in the market are generally the same. If I'm looking at all the stocks in the S&P 500, because they're all moving off of politics. So one thing is controlling everything. If you ever look at like a dictator or a leader and how they oppress people and how they're controlling something, you need to know how. So it's like, okay, what is the market being controlled by? The market is being controlled by political unrest or geopolitical unrest. So that's the one major thing that's dictating what the market is doing at this time. So, this is definitely a hard trade environment because it's whiplash, but this is a great environment to trade in. I would definitely practice. I would definitely focus on long term, like I keep saying. 70% of your money needs to go there. Most of it. 70 to 80%. But no one long and no one to go short. I want to ask you guys a question. So I'm all about not only us leveling up in the market, but us leveling up as people. This really, the market is easy. It's not hard. This is the stuff that we need to be focusing on so we can become better people. And when you become better people, and you have kids, your kids naturally have better DNA because you worked on things that made you a better person. So all those kids and genetics are going to have some kids, and they're going to have a head start because they're going to have good DNA of someone who, and we all have battles, right? We all have things we go through, but you need to constantly try to get better as a person. Constantly. But what promises did you make to yourself or your family that you have not yet fulfilled? What promises? Like you promised yourself you were going to do something, but we haven't even wrote down the steps of how we're going to get there. We haven't wrote down the blueprint of how we're going to get there. Like we said we was going to lock in doing this, or we was going to lock in doing that, but a month has went by and we still haven't done it. Right? We're in April. We're already it's about to be May. We're about to be 5 months into the year. I remember doing alpha investing at the beginning of the year. We're almost half the year in. Right? No promises, just focus to get there. I like that. I like that. Put that head down and keep working. You know, if you put your head down and you keep working, you're gonna blow past what you were aiming for. You're gonna blow past it. You ain't even focused on it. Just put the work in. And you're gonna look up, dang. I forget what movie it was. There's a football movie where he got on his back. He had to like bear crawl across the field. And I think like the record was like 20 yards. He made it all the way to the end zone, but he blindfolded him to do it. The coach, I don't remember what movie that was. But it's very, very important. Right? So just put your head down, keep working, and we're all going to, get the results that we want out of life. No, November will be good. You'll be good. But let's look at this week's investment outlook. We're gonna talk about some stuff at Apex. We're gonna talk about some stuff. But so Monday, we don't really have anything to like. This is gonna be a jam-packed week. Yeah, she said get that car out the market. You feel me? You're supposed to use an asset. The whole point of investing is to use multiple streams of income, hence multiple assets, so you can use them to pay for things in your, so like paying your rent or your mortgage for a year. You can take money out the market to do that, to buy a car. You can take money out the market to do that. You need a purpose for it. You need a purpose for it. And that's a very good purpose. But Tuesday, we got events, trade balancing goods, advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories, Schiller Home Price Index. So we're going to be able to look at real estate in the market, consumer confidence, job openings. I can't tell you really this week what way the market going to go. I don't even know. We're going to be looking every Wednesday. When will GDP come out? We got 80 employment, GDP, employment costs, Chicago's business barometer, consumer spending, personal spending, PCE year over year, core PCE year over year. Pending home sales. Man. Thursday, we got initial jobless claims, S&P manufacturing PMI. Friday, we have non-farm payrolls, U.S. employment rate, hourly wages, and factory orders. And then earnings, we got Domino's, Waste Management, Cadence Designs, BEO, I don't know that company, but BEO reports. SoFi, Spotify, Coca-Cola, Pfizer, UPS, S&P 500 Global. Mo, I should know that company. What company is that? MO? That's Altria Group, GM, Honeywell, BP, Hilton, Charles Schwab, I think that is, JetBlue, Royal Caribbean, Visa, Starbucks, Snapchat, FICO, Mondelez. So you know the company Mondelez. So if you ever go into Walmart and you see those people put in, like you may be in a lane, usually you catch them in a chip aisle. You catch them in a chip aisle. You see them in a chip aisle and they refilling the chips. So that's that company, Mondelez. I seen a worker. You gotta do some active investing. So when you out and you in stores and you in places and you go in places, you gotta talk to people. You gotta do active investing. I seen him in the aisle. I seen Mondelez. On the shirt. I'm like, oh, what do you guys do? Like obviously I see what he's doing for work. So I know a little bit about that company, but that's looking at the market. That's looking at companies on a lower scale. So it's one thing to look at the financials. It's one thing to look at the balance sheet, but to actually have like an in-person perspective at the bottom level is all important. MO is vapes, tobacco. Are we shorting them then? Short them and the prison stocks too. We not finna directly push up poison. No. Like that's like a absolute no. An absolute no. But we got a big week, man. We got a big week. Wednesday, you got Caterpillar, ADP, Etsy, Wingstop, Humana, Microsoft, Meta, Robinhood, Qualcomm, Sprouts Farm. They're going crazy. Teladoc, Cheesecake Factory, Aflac. Warren Buffett has ownership in that company. Lilly, MasterCard, Roblox, CVS, Moderna, Hershey, KKR, I forget what company it is, Lindell, Wayfair, Southern Airlines, Duke Energy, Amazon, Apple, MicroStrategy. And MicroStrategy's never moved off of earnings. It's really gonna be like you're gonna hear Microsoft talk about Bitcoin and how like give him credit. How much money has Michael Saylor made from investing in Bitcoin, and how long has he been investing in Bitcoin versus all these other financial institutions who could have adopted it a long time ago, and you are behind. You're behind. So step it up. Robinhood is kicking y'all. Bad. You gotta get with it. But you got Airbnb, Reddit, Square, Duolingo, dead. Roku, Twilio, Instacart, Striker, Amgen, GoDaddy. And then you have ExxonMobil, CBX, so Chevron, Shell, CI. I'm not sure what that one is. And then you got T. Rowe Price. And as far as the market, man, I'm trying to choose a direction. I was trying, I was thinking real long and hard. But I'm long this week. So I think Bitcoin is going to continue to perform well. Nasdaq, ES, and Dow should perform well. Then the bond market should start to come down a little bit. But we could get a pullback. So, but we're gonna see. It's a very, very important week in the market. But this week is like we gonna have to pay attention to everything. We're gonna have to pay attention to everything. Pay attention to geopolitical conflict. This is where you have to be a professional. You have to be a professional investor. You have to be a professional. You need to pay attention to what these CEOs are saying on their earnings calls. And once you see everything happening the same across the board, you can then start to formulate your idea of what the market is going to do in the future. And then you can put research behind it, and then you can put mathematical statistics behind it, and probabilities, and go get the data. And then you can make a calculated bet in your mind and say, okay, we probably have 70% chance of this happening, 20% chance of this happening, and 10% chance of this happening. At least that's how they do it. They do it at JP Morgan. So you have your base case, your bull case, and your bear case. So you need 3 outlooks on the market. One is the rosy outlook, where I think we're gonna go up 20% this year. Rosy. Then you have your base case. I think we can still finish the market and finish up this year. I'll give it like 7 to 12%. Ain't that what the norm is? 7 to 12. 7 to 12. So I think we can, we can get up. We can get back positive. It's gonna take something in the back half. But just as much as you can destroy something, you can also build something as well. But we're gonna see. And then you got your bear case. So how I said how the market is going, we're gonna fall to a 2-year low. Set the November 11th, when we fell to a 2-year low. That's your bear case. So you need to know like the worst scenario that the market could probably do within that year. You need to know the median case. I feel like if everything is just kind of like stable, the market isn't really like overly bullish, overly bearish, we're kind of just neutral, we're just cruising, have like a cruise year. And then you need to know like the bull scenario from when we have those bull years and those bull runs. So you got to act as a professional. You have to. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys this week. Let's get into these charts. I know you guys want to see the charts. So questions, charts, what you guys got for me, let me know. What chart do you guys want to see? What companies do you guys want to talk about? What questions do you guys have? Shout out to Glenda, asking amazing questions as always. So I was asked about gold. So my thoughts for trading gold or long-term holding, and when/how will we know when we are truly out of the woods? It's an amazing question. So usually, even though gold is going up, like gold is going up, it's going parabolic. Talk about FOMO. If I was looking to trade it, I would look to get in at the 20-day moving average on the daily time frame for gold, because that's what has been reacting to as of late to push up. It's come down a little bit now, but you truly have to wait for it to hit the 20-day moving average on the daily chart for you to look to get an entry. So you got to be patient if you're looking to trade it. Long term, I definitely wanted to come down farther, but just looking at the landscape, sometimes you may miss like the bulk of the move, but it's okay to still get 30%, 40% of the move. So gold is definitely one of the ones I wish I would have seen earlier for sure. I'm just not like a big commodity person, or I wasn't, but I learned quickly. You got to know everything. So you got to be in every market, Forex, stocks, crypto, currencies, commodities, wheat, copper. You got to be everywhere as a professional. So Yeah, gold is one that I definitely missed. Definitely wish I would have got in on it sooner. But I also think, it's, as a professional, I think it's my responsibility to show you guys, like, it's not perfect. You're not gonna find every move. You're not going to catch every move, but regardless, you have to act as a professional. So you still have to have patience. Don't chase anything. Um, so yeah, but long term investing, I definitely would want it to come down more. But if I'm looking at, if I look at the chart really quickly, um, for long term investing, I definitely would have loved it. Let's see. If we get back to like maybe, give me 1 second. Let's see. Um, 297 is a good trade level, and then really just wait for it to hit the 20 EMA on the daily time frame for trading. If I was looking to invest in it long term, 258 is where I would like it. 258. And even like 264, like in that threshold, because the difference there is like 2% between those two levels. Um, I've been trading it. I've got it moving in the falling wedge, and it looks like it's about to come down for a fair amount. Looking to move up, looking to move on it again when it breaks. Yeah, for sure. To the downside, yeah. If I'm looking at it, yeah, I see what you're talking about. I see it. If I'm looking at my, uh, let me actually check my screen. Um, yeah. So if I go on a 2 hour, uh, gosh, um, this is what I'm seeing. So here, and then here. So I mean, it has to break either to the upside or to the downside. So we shall see. It's kind of been holding this level. Um, so we might break Nova long after 2027. You see any more downside based on news and fundamentals? Novo is actually one of the ones I'm looking to go short on pretty soon. And I'm gonna be honest, as far as downside, news and fundamentals, never mind. I'm gonna talk about that in Apex. But um as far as news and fundamental goes for Novo, I keep saying if this company was an American company, they would not be down this far. They would not be down this far. But long 2027, I like it. I love it actually. I love it. Um, I told you guys, I think I told you guys 56 as another level to buy it. So if you bought it there, If your limit order got filled, I don't know if it would have got filled. I think 57, so I was $1 off. But let's just say we got filled up 8% on the relief rally. But it could go down to level could go down to I think I have it 46. I think is the lowest I will have it go to. That would definitely be a bottom for sure if it ever went to 46. So yeah, you're getting around a range where Novo is definitely looking favorable to go long to 2027, and it'll be till 2027. So once you make the move from where it's at right now, you honestly essentially on the probability aspect, the risk that you're having with a lot of time is your risk is probably like 2%. The probability of you being down, like, okay, from the institutional capital that has to get dispersed by law, that's crazy for no one. What's crazy? What's crazy? What's crazy? But the okay, the amount of institutional money that has to get dispersed into each company individually, the likelihood of Novo being where it is now, 6 months from now, it's dropping in now. And y'all asked me. I told you 46 last week. Y'all asked me what's the level in between that. Why I gotta give a level in between? 46. I'm sorry. I apologize because I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I apologize. You can get out. You can get out. Take an L and then get back in. But a 20% loss is nothing. So in investing, how we talk about probabilities, so you're gonna take a 20% loss, but that's nothing compared. If you buy it now and it just goes back up to the all-time high, you're up 144%. I mean, I'll take a 20% loss to get 120%. So I mean, if you look at Novo in the past, I know it can be scary investing in a company like this when it's dropped that much. But if you look, that's nothing new for Novo. Novo has dropped down here before. It dropped. This was 48%. Novo had a big drop here. And again, I keep saying it. There's an amount of money institutionally that has to get dispersed among each company for them to continuously go. What is okay? So the company once it drops this low, what is it gonna do? Get delisted? They got a 36% profit margin, so they're gonna get delisted. No, it's not gonna get delisted. So what is it gonna do? They're going to allocate institutional money when it's time for all of them to allocate money to that asset, so they can push it up to where it's supposed to go, so they can make money off of it. We need to be doing the same thing. If I give you institutional level like information, are you gonna follow it? Buy Novo, hold it. Even at 87, let's say you don't sell it because this is important lesson too. So 87, right? It's so our drawdown, 30%, right? You want to have on your long-term investments, you can have like an 8 to 10% stop loss. And then you can look to get in at a better price. But if you don't know what price to get in at, or you don't know how far it's going to drop, it's going to be hard for you to try to do that. But even from this level back to the all-time high, you still have an upside of 68%. And again, the probability of you losing money on the stock if you hold it for a year is 25%. So I'm willing on a probabilistic standpoint to give you an investment to make. If you hold it for a year, I'm already giving you a great price to invest in it at. Multiply with the amount of time that you have. If you hold it for a year, in January, the first 2 weeks of February, you should be up. Or in July, you should be up. Or in November or December, you should be up a year from now on Novo. So how it's looking, the yearly open next year is probably going to be an amazing time to invest. Probably gonna go down into a new year. So Novo is good. You do pay a price for investing in non-American companies, whether it's the speed of you getting the return is lower, is longer, the time that it takes you to get a return out of an American company versus the time it takes you to get a certain return out of a company that's not American. There's definitely a difference there. So even how Novo statistically you're investing in it at a low, I show you the percentage to the upside. Cool. I think it's an amazing company. You've got if you invest in Lilly at 723, you've gotten 20% off of it multiple times, off of multiple sets of shares. So, and we have to have a conversation, is Lilly, the time that it would take Lilly to get back to its all-time high and push higher, is that quicker than the time it would take Novo just to get back to its all-time high? And I think the answer is a yes. So if as a professional, you got to look at that aspect too. When you're looking at like the times between turns you're trying to get for people. So I know we love Novo, but Novo is not even a top 20. If I was a hedge fund and I had to allocate my capital to all of the companies, like 100 different, 50 different Novo. It would be in there, but I'm just thinking about how much money I would allocate to it. Not that high. Lilly would definitely be over it for sure. For sure. But yeah. For sure. No other charts. We gotta look at SPY. 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 So SPY, ooh, boy, what is going on? And just so you guys know, we are still in a downtrend. The overall trend is down. We had this pullback here, but if you look at the overall trend, still down. So this is definitely gonna be important. It's gonna be important. It's gonna be important. Very, very important for us. Very important. But we shall see. But if you guys don't got any questions, no stocks you want me to go over, no takes, nothing. No stocks, no stock takes. But but if not, then that's all I got for you guys this week. Keep investing, man. Keep investing. Uber. I think the time to be an Uber has been missed. Just looking at it, it's been reacting well to this 400-day moving average. So if it gets there, could definitely be a great investment for sure. 30%, like, come on now. Well, this was what, April 7th? April 7th. Off a long-term investment, you up to, come on now. Pull up to your advisor. Yeah, if you bought, I bought Uber, I bought Lilly at 723, and I'm up 20% from information I got off YouTube. What value are you adding to my portfolio? Can you walk me through the decision making that when you're making the decision making process when you're evaluating my portfolio? Palantir runner. Um, I want to apologize because I was, and I'm not saying this. I'm sincerely apologizing. So I told you guys a price to invest in Palantir a long time ago. I said $64. Um, I was really close. It was at 66. So I have to do better as a professional at making sure the limit order is filled. So it's fine to be a little bit late on something, but as far as like giving the information for free, gotta make sure the limit order gets filled. Because if we look here, this is a 66% return on Palantir, and that's from a long-term investment. And look at the time that it took you to get that. So that was April 7th. So imagine getting 66% in less than a month, and they're trying to tell you a year. So when I give you a price, I want you to listen, because I'm trying to make you rich, because they're not gonna do it. But I like Palantir. But we do have to ask the question though, morally, right? We talk about moral investments. This company is working with ICE to ensure it's working with ICE. So we gotta have if we're gonna talk about moral investing, right? But I like Palantir. Y'all know how I feel about Palantir. I think Palantir is good. Lyft. Let's see. Gotta zoom out for them. They hit a level. They hit a level. I think I drew this before. I definitely drew this before on my other system. One touch, two touch, three touch. So like here was the time to invest. Missed 20%, but I think if they rise, because they'll rise up, you can still get 54% out of it if you invest in it. Trading, you gotta have a sniper entry. Gotta have a sniper entry. So I will wait to go short once it gets to the top of here. But yeah, put this on your watch list. Like I keep like okay, if I tell you I will okay, when Lyft gets to like what $16, be on alert to go short. When it gets to like $10, go long. Out of long term, whatever. Because guess what? 58% is 58%. The institutional money is already allocated to the assets. So me saying it's not going to stop it from happening. You can't do it with every asset. $7 to $12. Join Apex. Join Apex. But I think Lyft, I did say I do not like Lyft as much as I like Uber. But in terms of getting a pure return out of it, taking the company away and just looking at the chart and looking at it on a quantitative level, take the name off of the stocks and just look at the chart. Take the name off of the stock and look at the chart. The name should have the name of the company should have nothing to do. You should be able to look at a balance sheet and not know the name of the company. And that is going to prevent you from having an attachment to it, a personal attachment to it, because we're attached to brands and how they have marketed things to us. So you have to get detached from a brand and know that that's not you, and know that just because it's something that you learned, something that was pushed towards you, that's not really you. So whether it's Apple, Microsoft, Walmart, Target, it doesn't matter. Take the name off of it, and then you need to be looking at the chart or listening to somebody who is looking at the chart. The risk to reward ratio, all that stuff. VAR, value added risk, all that stuff. Z score. So, but yeah. Yep. But that's all I got for you guys today. At Apex, you guys know we got a call in 30 minutes, so I'll see you guys there. But I appreciate you guys so much. SoFi, I was actually, it's funny. I was actually talking to somebody about SoFi. On Easter, we were talking about stocks. We were talking about SoFi because yeah, I see it's cheap. We got to get that out of hand. The amount of money that you allocate to an asset has nothing to do with the price of the stock. Because if you put $100 in SoFi, you're gonna get 10 shares. Okay, but if you put $100 in Nvidia, you're gonna get 1 share. I mean, what's the difference? Still allocated $100. The only thing that changed was the name. I like SoFi. Let me look at this. Let me evaluate this company. 5-year return, 17%. Yikes. Revenue is, I like. Profit margin. I like SoFi. I don't know exactly what they do. I need to learn exactly what they do. So probably being a great investor is know what you don't know, and know that you always need to learn more. Like I know of them, but like to know, like I'm talking about like on a personal level, to know exactly what they do, I don't. But I mean they're part of the financial services group. I think SoFi is good. News on student loans seems good for the company. Yeah. And the time to invest in them was like $10.17. They've moved from that level. Maybe. I mean, if they come back down to like $11, I like them there. They have a cool savings account option. So all of the companies that provide amazing value to their customers are going to be the ones that go up. So I need to do some active investing on SoFi. Let's see. But I like SoFi. Write it down. $11. 12. Do 12. Because I don't want us to come back and you say you missed it. No, come on. $11 or $12. $12. $12. Write it down, put it on a sticky note, look at it every day. SoFi, $12. You should know it in your head. So all the 150, 170 prices that I have, I almost remember. Not all of them, but I can look at the chart and go, okay, I know I said this price here. For all the companies that I want to invest in, like a bucket account. That's nice. But yep, that's all I got for you guys today. Like always, man, I appreciate you guys so much. We gonna keep giving out the information. I want you guys to keep executing. Keep executing. And I want to let you guys know something before I go. The action in the turmoil is what creates the success. The action and the turmoil is what creates the returns. So you may be thinking, in July, when you get these returns, right? You're going to see it. You're going to see a taste of what your returns could be at the end of the year. But the action from what you did in the turmoil is what generated that. So you should feel the opposite of how you do feel is probably how you should be feeling. To see your account go down should elate you. You should be happy. Up top, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. Right? So definitely I want to commend you guys for executing. I want to commend you guys for continuously trying to learn information. Continuously researching. So hard to explain through text. Look, I'm going the Google Meet, man. I'm gonna put it in the chat. So y'all can get back on and start asking questions again. Yeah. It's the same link. Y'all can join the Google Meet. I'm gonna send the link though. Next time I'm gonna send the link at the beginning. I'm gonna send the link. But yep, that's all I got for you guys, man. Just continue being great. Continue, trying to evolve to the best person that you possibly can be. That's what Apex stands for. So when I created Apex, I wanted to have a movement, a saying, something that I personally could live behind the rest of my life. Apex is literally like the highest version of yourself. You have Apex Predator, but Apex is like the highest. You have to hunt and kill down the weaker versions of yourself so you can allow the real, true version of you that God wants you to be. How you perfectly imperfect, right? But you strive every day. That's the person that you try to become. You gotta keep fighting. So you gotta have good habits, good thoughts, good energy, good actions, good interactions, KPIs. You have personal KPIs. So, I want you guys to continuously, try to become Apex, try to become the best version of yourself, and that is always going to lead to the results that you are looking for. So, but I appreciate you guys so much. And I will see you guys. Next week. And then you guys know if you are in Apex, we have a call tonight. So I will see you guys in like 20 minutes. So I'll see you guys then. I appreciate all of you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Apex gang. Apex gang. Come on, man. I'm just trying to do what they should have did a long time ago. So if I can generate you 50% in 2 months, go Oilers. Oilers? 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 Who the Oilers? Who the Oilers? Who the Oilers? Oilers? Is this baseball? I played it. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. It's so boring. Okay. NHL. I definitely don't watch NHL. I need to though. I need to. Edmonton. I need to. Yeah, I need to start. I'm gonna start watching it. I'm gonna tap in. Nah, I don't know. My bad. I know basketball, football. This I know basketball, football, track, baseball a little bit, just a little bit. Like I played it, but like the players, no. Don't know that NHL. As far as my sports range go, but I appreciate you guys, man, so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Until we meet again, keep being great, keep pursuing the best version of yourself, and keep being Apex. I'll see you guys then.